Good morning, my beloveds. It is Sunday, and this is Transfiguration Sunday, which is the last Sunday in the season of Epiphany. Is it just me, or is it just a little bit freezing outside? This morning, instead of coffee, I have my cocoa in my mug from the Herschel Carousel Factory Museum in Buffalo. It's no accident that I used this mug, because these past few months, these days in the middle of pandemic have reminded me very much that we seem to be in a never-ending cycle. We seem to be going around and round in circles. And not only does it make the cold feel colder, it has made the days feel much, much longer. Well, I came in from outside and it was chilly, and decided that I would show you all wrapped up. But when you come in and you actually sip a cup of warm coffee or cocoa, a transformation of sorts begins to happen. I feel a little bit like Mr. Rogers. I don't have the right kind of sweater this morning. But suddenly you can kind of relax and unwrap and unwind and start feeling less and less like you're running in circles. I think the thoughts are appropriate this Sunday as we consider the lectionary, the gospel selection for the week. It comes from Mark chapter 9, verses 2 through 9, and it talks about the transfiguration of Jesus. You see, 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and led them up to a high mountain apart by themselves, and he was transfigured. He was changed before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, who were talking with Jesus. And then Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He didn't know what to say, for they were terrified. But then a cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud there came a voice. "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." And suddenly, when they looked around, they saw no one with them anymore, but only Jesus. And as they came coming down the mountain, he ordered them to tell no one about what they had seen until after the Son of Man had risen from the dead. It's been an interesting few months. I've thought more than once about this time of transformation, this time of transfiguration, because before this pandemic began, we were so used to running in our circles that we had begun to fail to understand what was most important in our lives. This time of pandemic is as difficult as it's been for all of us, and I'm the first to raise my hand and say, this has been tough, has offered many gifts in its hands. I think about that transfiguration moment. Jesus must have lit up the sky that day on the mountain. That moment that we call transfiguration. Jesus on the mountaintop unveiled a foretaste of heaven and glory, and light filled him so that the witnesses remarked on a hue of white that was whiter than any shade possible in that day. It was a sci-fi transformation to another dimension, and while Peter and John were still reeling, Moses and Elijah showed up. It broke the barrier between heaven and earth, for Jesus was the one who could belong to both heaven and earth at the same time. He was a citizen of heaven and a citizen of earth. And in this time for us, we are experiencing a similar situation. We remember our lives before this virus, and we are in grief for them. But I have come to understand that these moments that have been offered to us in these past few months have made me appreciate what life is all about more than probably all of the positive and fun times I've experienced up to now. It has been a transformation. There has been time to sit and have discussions over dinner with my family. There have been moments of being able to be on the phone or take these times to have coffee with you that I just didn't take before. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we are connected and experiencing something altogether new. And for me, in so many ways, I'm experiencing this time as transformational. I hope you are too. I think about all of you. I hold you in my heart every day. I and the hot cross buns in the last few days got together to address envelopes and just so that this week I could send out envelopes to, I hope, everybody with our Ash Wednesday liturgy and a memento to represent the moment when we would normally come together to receive the mark of ashes at the beginning of Lent. It seems hard to believe that we've come now full circle and we are entering a time of Lent starting on Wednesday. Next Sunday is our first Sunday in Lent. And yet, it's giving me pause this week in remembering an amazing transfiguration, an amazing transformation that has made me understand and realize that so have we. We can choose to experience this time positively. We can choose to understand that even though we are apart in so many ways, we are more connected than we ever were before. The phone tree participants, those branch leaders that are making phone calls to each of you during the week, have said it more and more, that had they spent this last year in the sanctuary, in their pew where they're so comfortable and accustomed, that many of them would not know as fully the people that they've had conversations with this year. It has forced us to get out of our comfort zone, to transform the way we make community, and to understand that we are connected. So this week, in addition to this time of hot cocoa in a carousel mug, this time of getting warm after being so chilled, you'll find on our website that I have offered and linked a service that was done by Bishop Mark Webb and the cabinet. And now the cabinet is made up of all the district superintendents in the Upper New York Annual Conference. So the bishop and the cabinet came together, showing their connection with one another and with us as part of Upper New York, to offer worship and words of encouragement in this time of uncertainty but transformational love. My beloveds, you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. I hope that the prayer lists that are being emailed out, that the liturgy and information for Ash Wednesday that should be either already in your mailbox or coming to your mailbox in the next couple of days reminds you that we are all in this together. We are the body of Christ. Centenary United Methodist Church in Malone, New York. And we are connected not just to one another, but to the world. And it is through this connection that we too are part of offering transformational love, warming one another up with that love, and experiencing the presence of Jesus Christ among us. I'm looking forward to talking with you on Wednesday about our ashes and being not afraid. So I will leave you simply with God's peace I offer. God's love is here. You're in my hearts. God bless you. Talk with you soon. Enjoy a mug of cocoa and stay warm. God bless you.